And we're live for another edition of Issues Television Talk Show. I'm your host and executive producer, Rick Mason, along with my wife, Aisha Jefferson Mason, 4 states, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Join us each and every Saturday night, WCBI at 11:05 p.m. and Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on My Mississippi. We have Councilman Jason Spears here today, and he represents Ward 6, and not only Ward 6, but the Golden Triangle area itself in the city of Columbus, where he is here today as we do a progress report. That's what we want to call it. We're going to do a report card session with Jason Spears today to grade himself and to grade the city of Columbus. And I won't be doing the grading, but he's going to grade himself and grade the actual city council as a whole, because he's a part of the city council here in Columbus, Mississippi. Again, Jason Spears, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Hey, we're very excited to have you on the show today. Jason, you being a first-time actual councilman, first-term councilman, and you've been in the seat for right at a year now, almost? Almost. So, first of all, tell us, how do you feel about being a politician, and because you are a politician?
Right. Well, and I think that comes with the landscape. You can't say that you're in a role, but you're not in that role. And so I accept all those aspects of it. You know, certainly my first launch into the political realm and different things. But I'm no stranger when it comes to dealing with city business. I've been around this particular area with the school district and other parts of it for quite some time now. And so I feel that while I've gotten into a different realm of authority to help get things done for the city, there is still a steep learning curve that comes with the position.
And you started out, with this role, with the actual, Columbus Municipal School System. You was on the board. Were you once the president with the board?
That's right. I was asked to be on the board actually by Bill Gavin, who served in my position as City Council Ward 6 back at the end of 2011. So I actually started in 2012 and carried into that position for 2 terms up until about 2021. You know, it was one of those positions that, you know, they needed help on the financial aspect of how the school district was running. Came in. It was a lot of battles that had to be done. You know, people that didn't agree with how things went or wanted to keep things going. But I think overall, if you just do the work, and people understand that it's not about getting the work done and getting the credit for it, but it's just about producing outcomes, things have really transformed in the district on their financials. And so that was one of the good things I look back on. And I think that's the kind of, you know, motivation I have in my new role as city councilman.
And the big picture is for you to be able to be recognized and say, hey, come be a part of the school board. That means you got to have some kind of financial and business background to be able to do the job.
That's right. And, you know, of course, the biggest thing for me is, you know, obviously I went through school. I run a financial strategies practice, a lot of different things that I understand the nomenclature, the aspects of what has to be done in a business, running my own businesses, translates into the government side. Now, there are a lot of different red tapes and other things you have to kind of work through on the governmental side, but the outcomes you're trying to reach are just the same. You want to produce, you know, I don't want to say a profit in government because you're taxing people, but you certainly want to be able to have enough money, things left over to get extra things added to value add to the citizens you serve.
And with you saying what you're saying now, so this transition into you being a city councilman for Ward 6 here in the city of Columbus, let's go to the grading process. Now, we got your bio. We received all of that great information, some of the things you have done to be able to sit in the seat for Ward 6. How would you grade yourself for Ward 6 and the things that have taken place in Ward 6 since you have been elected?
Well, that's a good question. And obviously there's a couple of different ways you can break it down. You know, when it comes to being responsive and, of course, you know, put a purpose, direction of action, you know, I'd probably give myself like an A-.
Okay.
Because I'm very responsive. From day one, even before I took the oath, over at the Trotter, like, you know, I was on Facebook. I was reaching out, building out platforms, you know, of communication. I wanted to make sure that people knew who I was, not for the sake of I've been elected to it, but express what needs to be done and then create a priority list. When it goes to, working with my fellow council members, which is a totally different things, I would probably say I'm probably at a B-. There are different things, there are individuals who have been on the council before that understand the inner workings a little bit more, maybe some of the relationships a little bit more than me. And so there's a learning curve there that I'm having to really work through. But as far as communication, we really like one another. I think we're working extremely well together. I mean, there are certain things that we could always do better. But I don't believe that ego or any other type of obstruction is there that, prevents me from continuing to take that B all the way up to an A as time goes on. It's just we're all kind of new at this in certain respects. As far as, getting the job done as a council member, I'd probably still rate myself at like a B-, because I have been able to get some large scale projects done right off the bat. Blue Cut Estates, the Beaver Tea, people were having flooding issues into their backyards and stuff. That was one of the first things Public Works, Mr. Bush, Mr. Coleman, Benny Coleman had helped me, and Mayor Jones had helped me get done. And that has been tremendous relief of all the rains we've had for those residents over there. Also Highway 45. All the business along 45 coming in north. There's so many things that are about to take off here in the city. You want a good gateway coming in from the north that, people travel into, and having those systems open up allow us to kind of go upstream now and connect to all those other areas so that drainage improves coming down to those different areas. So I feel pretty good about that execution. But there are just other things, I would say I'm one that I've always been more of an introvert. It may not seem that way. I'm just confident in my abilities of what I do, but I am an introvert. So communication, I'd probably give myself a C, because I don't always dial in exactly how I'm explaining. I'm as you carry the notebook around kind of guy and draw it out. So, I feel like that starting out, I'm doing pretty good. But
so not to stop you, just, right there in the middle of what you're saying, what will you say to the people who are saying for any elected official, now a lot of work is seen to be done? So do any of the actual elected officials who were in the seats prior, do they receive any credit for what's going on now? Because, terms and times change throughout the session, and a lot of people don't understand, well, why my road didn't get paved at this time, or why this didn't happen in my ward at that time. So do we give actual credit or some credit to those who were in the seat prior, or how does that work? How would you judge that?
Well, and one thing that I've learned is vastly different in the private sector than in the public sector, like government, is when you make a decision, you execute, put resources to it, and move the needle. In government, it takes much longer. And so, of course, depending on the pool of money you're using and everything. So some of the projects, like some of the paving that we're undertaking right now, some of those streets were already earmarked, like Military Road and everything. So you could obviously credit, even though they didn't approve it, they had started making those designations.
Right, but they still can get a few points.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
But, the other side of it, too, is that, I feel very confident in this particular council, is that we're very decisive. We may have our disagreements. We may feel like there's a different way we want to do it with other. But we're getting progress moving. Like, we're not just focusing on one area. Like, from Ward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, there's a collective effort to say, how do we move everybody up? How do we get streets paved here? How do we open up drainage? How do we put, universal context and not just say, well, it was nice that the downtown got this or Highway 45 North got that. We want it to be broadened across the city. And I see that people and deals that are coming to the table, we're getting that response.
We got more to come here with Issues Television Talk Show, sitting here with Councilman of Ward 6, Jason Spears. And we're just talking about the progress and different things that are taking place in Columbus. It's like a progress report. I plan to meet with each city councilman here in the city of Columbus, and the mayor as well, to talk about a progress report and let you guys grade yourself and not let the community grade, because sometimes when the community grade, your grade can be, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So we'll be back in just a moment. 662-386-6064. If you have an issue, email the show at IssuesTalkshow@gmail.com. Again, I'm your host and executive producer, Rick Mason, along with my wife, Aisha Jefferson Mason. We have more to come here for the television talk show, Issues. I'm your host and executive producer, Rick Mason, for the television talk show Issues, along with my wife, Aisha Jefferson Mason, 4 states, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Join us each and every Saturday night at 11:05 p.m. for Issues Television Talk Show on WCBI and Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on My Mississippi. More to come, 662-386-6064, or either email the show at issuestalkshow@gmail.com. Yay, Mississippi Life University, MLU, a private university and seminary. MLU gives out 2 scholarships every semester, dual enrollment scholarships, senior citizen scholarship. MLU offers chaplaincy certifications. Tuitions includes books, caps, and gowns. MLU offer classes to everyone that has a desire to be educated in Christian education. Call now or either visit the campus 202 7th Street North in Columbus, Mississippi, or give them a call. Dr. Gilbert Spencer a call at Mississippi Life University at 662-435-0831. It's all about Mississippi Life University, a private university and seminary.
Like flipping a light switch, your internet should just work. Count on FastNet to bring you the speed you need from the people you trust. Plans start at just $55 a month. Get connected. Sign up today.
GTA, it's so simple and so easy to drive up and through Precision Tuned Auto Care. And guess what? They're jump starting the 2023 year off with exciting deals and various car repair specials to get you hitting on all cylinders. Come on by and see Robin and the crew today for all your automobile needs. They service all makes and models, new and old. They also offer oil changes, tune-ups, brake repair, AC and heat repair, shocks, struts, check engine lights, scare. They do it all. Plus, they're currently taking applications for experienced lube technicians, experienced automotive technicians. Must have at least 2 years experience. Certifications are a plus. They offer competitive pay, 40 hours plus, overtime if desired, paid holidays off, paid vacation time after 1 year, health, vision, and dental insurance. Precision Tunes, located 2334 Highway 45 North, located behind Applebee's in Columbus. Call now to get the service that you deserve. 662-241-4455. And we're back here live in the city of Columbus with Councilman Jason Spears, Ward 6 here in the city of Columbus. And we're talking about progress and things that are going on here in the city of Columbus and just getting input on, his thoughts and different things of that nature. Them or him, should I say, giving themselves an actual grade of progress of what is taking place here in the city of Columbus. So, of course, gun violence has been a big, horrific situation. You were at the Stop the Gun Violence in Columbus that we did in Tim Scott with Miss Jackie Brown. It was good to see you there because, this type of violence doesn't happen in Ward 6. You see what I'm saying? So for you to come and as a city councilman to be able to come and engage with the community is a plus because some councilmen or councilwomen might not even say, hey, I need to go over there to participate. But that was a plus when I shouted you out, say Councilman Spears, when you were there. So talk to us about your thoughts on different things of that nature, engaging with situations that don't necessarily take place in Ward 6.
Well, one of the things about it is we're not immune for any type of violence of any kind in Ward 6 or anywhere in the city. And so you have to understand is that, your neighbor's your neighbor. Whether they live in East Columbus, whether in New Hope, whatever, like this is collectively as a unit that we have to work together and be prepared to support one another on. And so, I was there, number one, in support of those individuals that have gone through situations in their lives and lost loved ones that I haven't experienced that same type of loss. But collectively, as a Christian, I'm there to support them and pray for them because I want to make sure that if I can play any small role in their recovery or the producing an outcome that's going to lessen the chance that someone else goes through that same type of violent, demise and everything, that I'm there to help in some way or another. And I understand it from a way that I'll never understand in their respect, but I can make sure that if we're instituting things across the city that are going to help curb those type situations.
And what will you say to the people? Because a lot of people reach out to Issues and say, when you get a chance to sit down with any elected officials, ask these questions. So we're here today. what will you say to the people who say when something horrific happens in the city or the neighborhoods as far as gun violence or different things of that nature, they feel that they don't receive enough information or enough volume from the city council or the mayor or the office of the mayor? What will you say to those people when things happen and they're looking for answers from you guys to say, hey, we're working on this, or hey, we acknowledge what has taken place? What will you say in this matter?
Sure. Well, I think if I understand your question correctly, one of the things that we have to make certain that we're doing is not being reactionary, because certainly when things happen, you want to make sure that you go and solve that problem immediately. But you've got to put in long-term systems. You've got to put in certain, whether it's communication, whether it's other ways of protection that might be involved. And you can't, unfortunately, we can't, since, Cain slayed Abel.
You can't do that and snap of the finger, in other words.
Right. You can't change the way things happen. And so I think the bottom line is that, we have to work as a council to realize these problems exist, and we can't discount, say, well, they're everywhere. Like, we have to take efforts, whether it's building an apparatus of cameras, whether it's more policemen on the street, holding those who are in those positions accountable for their roles in certain things and how they're playing out, and then being there to support too, asking what the community needs, not feeling like we have all the answers. A lot of times, and this situation and others, we're not oracles that understand everything. We're humans just like everyone. We're there to serve. And so sometimes the best ideas come from those who can say, well, this is how you would be able to protect my neighborhood that might be different than the neighborhood I live in.
Correct.
And I think that that's something we've got to do as a city council, is be more willing to listen instead of just feeling like that when we're brought a proposal, we're brought some type of solution, that's the end all be all. And I think we're getting there, and I think we're going to continue to get more and more responses by doing it that way.
Really interesting. More to come here with Issues Television Talk Show. We're going to be back in just a moment after these television commercial breaks to finalize this interview with Councilman Jason Spears. I think it's very informative that we're sitting down to be able to give you information and updates from the city of Columbus on behalf of Ward 6, Jason Spears. We got more to come here with Issues Television Talk Show. We'll be back in just a moment for the television talk show, Issues. Yay, Mississippi Life University, MLU, a private university and seminary. MLU gives out 2 scholarships every semester, dual enrollment scholarships, senior citizen scholarship. MLU offers chaplaincy certifications. Tuitions includes books, caps, and gowns. MLU offer classes to everyone that has a desire to be educated in Christian education. Call now or either visit the campus 202 7th Street North in Columbus, Mississippi, or give them a call. Dr. Gilbert Spencer a call at Mississippi Life University at 662-435-0831. It's all about Mississippi Life University, a private university and seminary.
Like flipping a light switch, your internet should just work. Count on FastNet to bring you the speed you need from the people you trust. Plans start at just $55 a month. Get connected. Sign up today.
GTA, it's so simple and so easy to drive up and through Precision Tune Auto Care. And guess what? They're jump-starting the 2023 year off with exciting deals and various car repair specials to get you hitting on all cylinders. Come on by and see Robert and the crew today for all your automobile needs. They service all makes and models, new and old. They also offer oil changes, tune-ups, brake repair, AC and heat repair, shocks, struts, check engine lights, scare. They do it all. Plus, they're currently taking applications for experienced lube technicians, experienced automotive technicians. Must have at least 2 years experience. Certifications are a plus. They offer competitive pay, 40 hours plus, overtime if desired, paid holidays off, paid vacation time after 1 year, health, vision, and dental insurance. Precision Tunes, located 2334 Highway 45 North, located behind Applebee's in Columbus. Call now to get the service that you deserve. 662-241-4455. And we're back here for Issues Television Talk Show to close this interview out here. Final remarks with Jason Spears, councilman of Ward 6. And it's a progress report that we are giving or taking place here with Jason Spears. He's grading himself and the city body itself as a whole. And he gave some, good remarks, and, he gave a score or a grade, should I say, would, be, usable or feasible, should I say, and very receptive. I think you gave an A- and a B+ maybe in a couple of situations, that has taken place. You spoke about cameras, and you said something about cameras earlier. You know, we had a situation that took place, when this airs on TV this weekend, probably, we, would say it happened, last night or a few nights ago, with the situation of two alleged, teenagers or under 21 or 21 and under, people that, was in a tragic situation. Your thoughts and some of the things that you can spearhead on that, because people are asking, well, was it a high-speed chase, or was it a rundown? Was a car pulled over? If this was the case or not the case, why didn't the cameras be utilized or taken place? I mean, or is there a law that you can't do high-speed chases in the Golden Triangle, Columbus? I mean, I know I asked you about 10 questions in, but you understand where I'm going.
Sure. Well, you know, with respect to that particular situation, I don't know all the details, and I'll be bluntly honest about it. I mean, it's a very tragic situation for all involved. You know, for those family members that are mourning now, for the individuals involved in it, and of course the officers and everyone had to respond to it. So, certainly there's no silver lining in that situation at all. And when it comes to, you know, using cameras, using, you know, other types of operating procedures in that particular situation, I'm sure that, you know, Chief Daughtry and those that are responsible will go back through and see how certain things were handled, you know, to maybe strengthen the way that those situations occur.
And shouts out to the Columbus Police Department as well, because being a police officer is a job. You never know. Your biggest deal is, hey, I want to make it home safely, back to my family. I went through the academy myself, and it was pretty interesting. And it is a real, it's a real stressful job from what I experienced.
Well, and I think that's the one thing, and I've heard people that's in that profession speak before and say it's really hard to leave it at the doorstep when you go home. And so I think a lot of times we forget, we want to be quick to criticize the job they're doing or the job they're not doing, and not realize the cross that they carry around just trying to serve the greater good. And that doesn't necessarily absolve them from any bad actions they may do.
Correct. Yes.
But at the same time, we have to be willing to understand is that they're trying to do their best. And if they're not, then those that are in positions to make those decisions of, we need a different officer there, Chief Daughtry and others are more than capable of trying to do that and different things. But, you know, I still go back to is that we're still building out the overall infrastructure, is my understanding. We don't have a final solution of what we're trying to institute, but there are a lot of things that weren't done while we took these positions. And so we're really trying to, you know, understand the landscape of what we're up against and trying to work to that end to make it a better situation. And what a lot of people, and I'll say this, we're talking about grading and report cards and different things, is that there isn't a real way to just measure everything out, because certain things in a city like ours, and we think, oh, it's a small city, there's a lot of things that happen in the city limits all the time.
Yes.
And then we have an influx of a major highway that comes through right through the middle. You have two rivers. So there's a lot of different dynamics that play out here in our city that we are unique in how we have to manage those. And it creates opportunity, and it also creates, you know, problems that don't exist other places. And we just have to work together as a council and mayor and find those paths forward. Some may have already been explored. Some may have not even cleared the way to go down. And that's why I think that, you know, we're coming up 1 year of being in office. I'm optimistic. I'm very grateful for the people I get to work with on the council and the mayor's office. We're going to have disagreements.
Of course. I mean, if you didn't, it wouldn't be a council. You know, you got to agree to disagree or agree to agree, you know, either way. So, this has been a great set down. 2 more questions.
Yes, sir.
We have a situation where a lot is in the news about the unpaid money to the county. How is that taking place now? What is the plan to be able to, get these guys, from putting information out about the unpaid, jail assessments or whatever the case may be?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is it didn't come to a head until, we didn't really know about it as a new council until it really got into the mainstream. And that's not pointing fingers at one person or another. It's just how it happened. But I think that when you go back to, I'm a very pragmatic person.
Yeah, I know you know numbers again.
Well, it's not just that, but it's just that if this is what we have a service, we budgeted for it, it's in the budget, and we know how much we're supposed to be paying for that service. Even if it's being disputed above that amount, we know what we should be paying. And I think that my focus on it, and of course I've got 5 other council people that may see it differently, is that we know we should pay for this. Let's pay our part that we know we should have been paid.
Are you guys able to pay it?
Yes.
Okay.
We have there's this misconception that the city of Columbus is broke.
Okay.
We are not broke.
Okay.
We could do financially better, but we're not broke.
Okay.
Far from it. It's just a matter of us retooling our methods of how
re-strategizing everything and rerouting.
Worrying about how the perception is about what we have money to do or not do. I mean, I would be the first to tell you, when I went onto the school board, they were broke. I mean, I'm not being blunt about that.
Yeah, but you guys worked it out.
That time when I went into Dr. Liddell's office at the time, she had a reduction in force. Those were people's names up there that households were going to be changed. That's broke.
Yes.
The city of Columbus, we could do better, and we are going to do better. We're, Mayor, Jones, he's working. He listens to me a lot. Sometimes he doesn't, but that's okay.
It's politics.
Yes.
You guys are going to agree sometimes. Guys are not going to agree sometimes.
But the bottom line is that if we want to be able to have a safer city, we want to have a city where people come and actively invest. And I've had many discussions over the last month of people looking to put big installations here that haven't been out there, and it's not going to be announced until they want to do it. It's going to be transformative for our city. And we have all this major engine across the river that is pouring people, that's pouring other things into our city, that we've got to be more resourceful and more mindful and more diligent as a community to be accepting of what's happening here and not just continue to say, well, this is what happened 5 years ago. This is what happened 10 years ago. Well, look, I've been here for almost 21 years. Okay. This is not where I grew up. This is not something where I can say that I was baptized in this church or anything, but this is where I raised my family. I run my businesses, and now I'm looking to serve the community like I've been doing because I believe in where we're going. Yes. I believe in every other 5 council members I serve with. I believe in all the people that are leading the department heads. We're going to get it reconciled to where it's going to look like it should over time. But if the bottom line is your objection is, well, it's not fast enough, then you're never going to be happy because progress takes time and discipline.
Man, pretty interesting here. He signed crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's here. Some of the questions he probably wasn't expecting me to ask, but he worked it out. He maneuvered through it. So do we have a strong council, weak mayor, or a strong mayor and a weak council? We
have a strong council and a weak mayor system here under our charter and everything.
And we say system now. We're not speaking generally, but we're talking about the system as a whole.